Hey guys, this is just a short video about how to clean the fins on a Harley Davidson twin cam. This is a 103 2015 Street Glide here, which is kept in a dry climate. It's very rarely been out in the wet. It's obviously 3 years old this April, and the fin edges were black and pitted. So a little bit disappointing that they've gone like that in such a short time, but nevertheless I wanted to obviously look after the bike and do some restoration on the fin edges. So I've read quite a few articles on the internet about how to clean them. Some people use fine emery papers, some people are using Scotch Brights with a mixture of different liquids such as vinegar to bite into the alloy. You can see here what I've done. I spent about 3 hours on this the other night doing the 2 cylinders. It was late at night and a bit dark, so now I've had the bike out, had another look at it in the daylight, I've decided I'll have another go. So what I'm actually using is this, I've got a Dremel with this attachment, which is a flexi, so it's really accessible to get into the fins. And I bought a couple of metal compound polishing blocks, one brown, one blue, come in a pack, and I've just been using those so you can get right round the fins and polish them. Now, one thing which I found is necessary, you can get a number of different attachments for the Dremel to get off that pitting. I've been using a circular 180 grit, flat abrasive, just run it along the fin edge. You know, that is something which really speeds up the process. But to get that real factory look with the polishing bonnet, it's really necessary to go that way along each fin, because obviously the cutting of the fin is vertical, they're not cut sideways. So from the factory you've got all these little sort of vertical lines running along the fin edge. So the other thing I will say is, if you try to do this quickly, then you know the same thing's going to happen. You're going to get it out in the daylight, and you know there's going to still be the odd pit in there, the odd bit of tarnishing. So I've just spent a little bit of time just going along the edge of each fin individually, making sure I'm happy with that before I move down. So that's the result there. You can see that I've just done the top 3 or 4 fins, and that looks, for me, that looks really good. So now it's a case of just spending a bit of time and moving down this cylinder, making sure each fin is polished to a good standard. I've had to remove the horn to get up the middle of the cylinders here. The other thing which is a bit tricky is getting in around the exhaust. I don't think you can get a really good result without taking the exhaust off. I'm going to have another try with some more attachments. So basically, without major disassembly, you're left to the areas which you can access, which are probably the areas which are most visible. So hope this has been of some help to those who are wondering how to do this restoration. The other thing the Dremel's good for is all this edge cut stuff, which again tarnishes in 6 to 12 months. So it's important to keep this well polished. I hadn't polished these gear linkages for several years. They were quite dull, and there's a little attachment which goes on the Dremel. You can get in there and do a nice clean up job on them as well. So there we go, Harley fin restoration.